Welcome to AGORACOM, the Small Cap Epicenter, and AGORACOM TV, a daily, fast-paced, edgy show that brings you the best press releases out of the small cap world every morning at the open, so you can hopefully profit from them and maybe even find your next great small cap investment. Now, it's Wednesday, November the 21st, a day before U.S. Thanksgiving, so you can expect that the news flow is going to be slow today, especially tomorrow and Friday, so it's slim pickings. But as usual at AGORACOM, we're focusing on quality over quantity, so we've still got 5 great press releases for you from both sides of the border. Let's start you off first with Gemtech. Trades on the TSX Venture under the stock symbol JTC. They announced their year-end results. Nice numbers there. Revenues up 7% to a record $2.878 million. Net earnings up 33% to $659,000 or 29 cents per share. Cash and cash equivalents increased 32% to just under $2.8 million. Very strong revenues, very strong profits, great cash position, nicely positioned. What I really like about this, the company's trading at $1.29. Based on their earnings per share of 29 cents, the company's trading at a multiple of just 4.44. So you got to do a little more due diligence. There may be a reason for that, but on its face, that's value right there. What does the company do? They've been around since 1981. They hold the exclusive rights for a variety of offender community control technologies, and they're the leading provider of community offender monitoring solutions to Canadian corrections. In short, they track criminals, make sure they don't get too out of control. Next up, One Exploration Inc. trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the stock symbol OE. They've got both A and B class warrants, shares, so we're looking at the A's. They announced both the third quarter and the consolidated numbers for the first 3 quarters, so I'll give you a bit of both. Average production increased in third quarter by 103% to 693 barrels of oil equivalent per day. That compares to 342 barrels of oil equivalent per day in the prior quarter. Big move there. And when you, as you know or you may not know, whenever you see barrels of oil equivalent, it means they're doing both oil and natural gas. But they're giving us these results in oil equivalent numbers to keep it easy to follow. The company's current production currently now is 770 barrels of oil equivalent per day, and year-end exit they're projecting to be 950 barrels of oil equivalent per day. So obviously they're going through a very fast growth phase. Here are the consolidated numbers for the first 3 quarters. Revenues, $3.86 million. Net income, $1.285 million. Earnings per share, 6 cents. So based on their current trading price of 76 cents, the company, after just their first 3 quarters, is trading at a multiple of 12.5. Assuming they tack on a little more earnings per share in the final quarter, then you're going to see that PE drop, and you might have some great value there. And given what we've been hearing out of the oil and gas, and especially with Jean-Francois Tardif and Jim Rogers talking about the potential for $200 oil, these are the kind of companies you want to be taking a look at. Going over to the U.S., next up, Gansu Global Telecom trades on the OTC under the stock symbol GZGT. They reported their Q3 numbers, big numbers here as well. Q3 revenue, $6.4 million, a 1,700% increase, but I'm assuming that they didn't have much operations last year, so it's their first full year of operation. Nonetheless, $6.4 million, great for just 1 quarter. Revenue for the consolidated 3 months, $15 million, up 116%. That's a little more like it. Loss for the consolidated 3 months, just over $400,000. However, that does include a one-time non-recurring financing cost of $376,000. So the company basically broke even for the first 9 months. Got a quote here. Li Yanquan, who's a president and CEO of the company. With the funds we raised in earlier in August, we were able to expand our business into other provinces and achieve more aggressive targets. That speaks to that one-time recurring financing cost of $376,000. They obviously used that money to significantly grow, and they did a good job at it. We expanded our operations in Zhengzhou, Wuhan, Beijing, and Macau. We'll enhance the operations there and expand into other cities as fast as possible. Again, we love these small-cap Chinese companies that are actually generating real revenues from real businesses and showing real growth. And it looks like Guangzhou Global Telecom is one of them. What do? You can imagine they're a national mobile phone handset provider and prepaid calling card distributor. That's their primary business. They're trading at 60 cents now. That's way off their high of $2.97 that was achieved back in May, June. It looks like that's when they first started trading. Might be a situation where the company just had an underwriter that's far too aggressive on their opening price, and maybe you're finding fair value at 60 cents. Take a closer look, as always. Next up, going back to TSX Venture Exchange and going into resources. Melcor Resources trades on the TSX Venture under MKR. They announced 2,543 meters of drilling were completed at their West Timmins gold project. And listen to this number. They recorded surface samples of up to 467 grams of gold per ton. This is after 23 holes were drilled. This is further to some excellent assay results. That's their self-proclaimed excellent assay results previously reported from this 1010 vein back a couple months ago, where 28 of 92 samples then exceeded 28 grams of gold per ton. These new results have identified a 50-meter long vein located 100 meters north-northeast of the last known surface extent of the 1010 vein, and the maximum mineralized width of this new zone is 1 meter, and assay results yielded a maximum, as we said, 467 grams of gold per ton, trading at 38 cents. Finally, Copper Mountain Mining, traded on the TSX Venture Exchange under the stock symbol CUM. Preliminary assessment there is recommending a feasibility study on their 100% owned Copper Mountain project that's located near Princeton, British Columbia. Merit Consultants had completed a positive, independent preliminary assessment of the property. They're recommending that Copper Mountain move to a feasibility study. Here are some of the numbers that you should know about. Base case pre-tax net present value at a 5% discount rate over 15-year mine life is $406 million. Pre-tax internal rate of return, 25.56, pretty good number. And this is what I really like. Capital payback of just 2.69 years. So if they're looking at 15-year mine life with a capital payback of just under 3 years, that looks like a pretty impressive project. The company plans to immediately proceed with the feasibility study and expects it to be completed in early 2008. Mr. O'Rourke, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Copper Mountain, stated, this positive preliminary assessment is another major step forward for the company in the reactivation of this past copper and precious metals producer. At present, the company's got 4 drills operating on its project right now, making one of the largest exploration projects in BC for 2007. They're trading right now at $1.96. That's a wrap. Great news for the day. As always, if you want to take a closer look at these notes or have some additional due diligence, drop by our blog where I post my notes, and you can post some of your comments. Otherwise, if you're looking for more great small cap companies, don't forget about the AGORACOM marketplace. We've got over 75 companies listed by industry and exchange, so you can find the ones that are best suited for your portfolio. Have a great day for our U.S. friends who are traveling today. Have a very safe travel day. Have a great Thanksgiving tomorrow, where we'll be back. We'll be talking about news strictly on the Canadian exchanges. Until then, have a great day. See you tomorrow.